Light the beam, because it's time for Nerdy for 30, the podcast where we talk about nerdy-ish movies for 30-ish minutes. My name, of course, is Kevin Bauer, a.k.a. The Critic's Choice. With me, as always, the People's Champ, Tim Keck.
If you feel it, chase it, baby.
If you feel it, chase it. And as you know, today is Thanksgiving Day 2024, and Thanksgiving is a time to get together with people you love, who you haven't seen in way too long. It's also a time when people you love fire off the wildest takes you have ever heard. And that is why we needed to bring you the king of takes himself. He's an artist, he's an actor, he's a comedian, and most of all, he's family to us. Julian Williams.
Hi guys. My takes aren't that hot. I think you guys don't. Recently we hung out and I apparently was just popping off.
It was amazing.
My take. But I thought I thought we were having a conversation. I thought we were just talking like friends, and you guys, I didn't know I was entertainment for you.
First and foremost, always entertaining. Second up, I love that the perspective is my takes aren't hot. Your takes are just not hot enough.
Yeah, simmering. You simmer your takes. You hold your punches. Is what the problem is.
I'm excited to hear your defense of the Pilgrims. I think was going to be your coming out the gate.
There's no defending that type of shit. You gotta some shit you gotta let go of. Let that. But this movie was fucking. Wait, you curse on this? Because I have a lot of cursing to say about this Thanksgiving movie.
Yes.
This movie both sucked and was very good at the same time. And it wasn't very good until it got to the end. And that's where I was like, oh, okay. There was, you guys did you guys both just watch it recently? Okay.
I watched it a year ago and then I rewatched it now.
I watched it twice.
I watched it. I don't know when it was on Netflix or whatever.
Okay.
And I just thought it was a great tier for the pod. I wanted other people's takes on it because it's so bad in a way that I feel like makes it good and enjoyable. Just right from the jump, the opening scenes before the titles is so stupid and gross and grotesque and over the top that it really establishes the tone for the rest of the movie. Like, you can't take any of this seriously after this.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. I thought it was like a goofy, good time, if not a little sloppy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But you thought it sucked up top, or were you like into it?
I was not into it. It's one of those things that you guys know that I watch like a lot of films and I watch a lot of horror, and it's writing the Eli Roth's name, right? Like, what's something that like Zodiac. I fucking hate Zodiac as a movie. It's Fincher.
Oh my God.
But I watched the whole thing because it was Fincher and it was like, oh, he made Fight Club, he made Seven. Like I'm gonna ride this out. So like as soon as Thanksgiving started, I was like, well, this fucking sucks immediately. But then I was like, but it's Eli Roth, it's Hostel, it's Cabin Fever. Like, I'm gonna ride this out. And I'm so happy. If you guys didn't want to talk about it and it wasn't Eli Roth, I would have turned it off before the credits. Like before the opening title came on, I would be like, no.
Interesting.
No. It's got Grey's Anatomy in it. No, I'm out.
Yeah,
not even like the good character from Grey. If Grey was in it, I would have watched the whole thing. Yeah.
You want Meredith Grey in here as the Pilgrim Killer?
Or the actress, but it's this guy who's only, he's just been hot for like since the 80s. Like, come on. I'm out.
Yeah, he is just kind of agelessly hot. Who's that other one? The woman who like blew up from it, the blonde girl.
Katherine Heigl.
Katherine Heigl would have been a nice death to add to this movie.
Yes, it would have been very good.
She would have fit the caliber in here. There is something that's really weird.
Perfectly.
This does almost feel like a TV movie that is just somehow the grossest slasher I've seen in years. Like, everything is so... I'm not a gore guy. This was so hard to get through at points for me because I remember so this whole movie is based on a fake trailer that was put out for Grindhouse.
Yes, which I love.
I actually haven't seen Grindhouse. That's a big blind spot for me. It's on my list for this October. Yeah.
Love Planet Terror, which is Robert Rodriguez. Don't like Death Proof, which is Quentin Tarantino. But together, I saw them in theaters back to back. It was great. Go on.
I'm sad I missed out on that. And the trailer thing in the middle, like I had seen the trailers because they dropped the trailers online, I think beforehand as like a thing of like, here's kind of what you're into. And there was a shot in the trailer, back then it was called Thanksgiving, of a body dressed like a Thanksgiving turkey that was roasted and put on the table in front of people. And I was like 16 or 17 when that came out, and it made me want to throw up. Like the image of that was so disturbing to me at the time that I was almost moved to vomiting. And a lot of the stuff in this movie is just as gross. I was disappointed, but also like on one level, like relieved to see that thing made it into this final movie. It looked more like a person in this. It was still wearing clothes, but like, it's like, damn, they stayed true to their roots. They did it. But like outside of the weird, brutal, disgusting comedic kills, it is kind of like bizarrely watchable in a Hallmark movie kind of way, Like there's something about it. It feels weird to see Eli Roth, who, is like you mentioned, Cabin Fever, Hostel. He does these uncompromising horror movies, Borderlands.
He's done some stinkers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he's got a checkered past as far as directing goes. I don't know if I'm all of a sudden like Eli Roth did it must be good.
But it's
like
weird
after
to
watching
see him.
Borderlands, and
it kept me in the game though. It kept me in the game because it was his name that I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick this out because it's like an M. Night Shyamalan who has a history of clunkers, but you stay with it because it's like, well, just tell me. Or I'm going to take out Wikipedia and like read the twist, but you can just do it sooner if you want to. He just made a movie called Trap that I saw with my mom, and my mom wanted her money back. She was we flew to Denver to hang out and do a mother-son trip, and we went and saw Trap at the Alamo Draft House in Denver, and she was like, I want my money back. This was not The Sixth Sense at all. This wasn't even a sequel. I was like, what did you think it was? Did you think it was going to be? Not at all, but it was yeah, it's like you stay for the name. Like he's got enough hits where I'm like, I'm going to see what's happening. But that opening was just
there's
brutal.
no refunds in Denver either.
No, it all goes to the city. It all goes to the city.
Goes to the city. Keep it clean. So I feel like this movie is called Thanksgiving, and I think it delivers on that premise. We talked about the cooked like a turkey, which you gotta do. There's a scene in the oven where that little turkey, like the thing that says the turkey's done, pops out of her. Perfect. Great. Yes. Wonderful. The killer is like setting up the Thanksgiving table with like parts of the people he's killed, and then eventually like live victims. Great. Delicious. Wonderful. The beginning of the movie being a whole thing with Black Friday is so corny and lame that it's just wonder. But it's like, they're beating this premise to death. They're like, everything you associate with Thanksgiving is going to be in here. We're delivering on this promise. And there's a level of cheese to it and campiness that I feel like it's intentional. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I kind of feel like they leaned into how corny and like, campy this thing is. It's just so over the top that it feels like an intentional choice as opposed to someone failing to make a good movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think the one thing that they did right, which I thought was fucking amazing as a horror film. So I got pissed off because it was like the rich family, the poorer family, the teenagers all together. There was such a teen like campiness to it. That was like when I turned it off, and it was like, oh, you're the baseball star. You must know everything about baseball. It's like, I'll talk to you later about it, Dad. It's like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And then like, but it set up so many characters that I was watching it the first time I watched it with someone, and they were like, do you know who the killer is? And I usually can figure this shit out, especially with a camping one. And I didn't know. I had an idea, but I didn't know because I was like, well, there's so many people that are involved. That was the one thing I thought it did really well. Bring so many people into it. Multiple families, multiple high school students. The guy who wanted to date her, but was just like nerdy. I was like, I thought, no reason besides he wants to go out with this girl. And it's like, we got a boyfriend. Like, well, he's still coming to the party anyway. It's like, fuck you. But I thought it could have been him. He sucks. And he shows up later. Of course, she starts dating him when her other boyfriend disappears. Just like give up on that. But I thought that was a really it was such a dumb, campy opening, but it left so much that I couldn't figure out throughout the movie that I thought that was kind of cool. That you set up so much that like really paid off at the end.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I had the same thing. I was going through, and I think right up until they reveal it's Dempsey, I was like, oh shit, like there's still so many people on the board that this could be.
Yeah.
Also, the Dempsey reveal, I'm going to do a quick shout out to the shot of like those plants getting brushed aside when she's escaping from him in the woods after climbing over the fence. When they showed that shot of the plants getting brushed by his boot, I was thinking about something for this podcast, and then that shot happened and it lingered on the plants, and then we moved on, and I was like, wait a minute, why the fuck did we stay on those plants for so long? And I was planning to call it out for being weird, and then it ended up being integral to the plot. So like, you know, neat little moments like that.
Yeah. I realized that the him being that I didn't know if we were going to call it out, but like it is him. It's the sheriff. But the little thing of his reasoning, I thought was the most brilliant part of the movie because it happens in that first minute where he sees that woman, the poor family mother, and she's like, "Oh, you are a sheriff and you bake. So you're not going to be single for long." And it's revealed 2 hours. It's a long movie, by the way. 2 hours later, they're fucking, and she's pregnant, and of course she gets her head. Like a shopping cart takes her out at some point in the beginning. And that's the reason. And I was like, did not see that. Yeah, she gets scalped by a shopping cart.
That was disgusting. It was
so
that was the worst one.
The reasoning of it was like, whoa, I did not see that shit coming. I did not believe that was going to be the reasoning for the killer. And it happens within the first minute. And if you don't catch it, it is like flirtatious, but you don't. The second time around, I'm like, oh, of course, they're kind of flirting. But like the first time, I'm just like, oh, this beginning sucks.
I don't think I was surprised by Patrick Dempsey. I thought he was just so weird in this because anytime now when I'm watching one of these movies and I recognize an actor in it, I'm like, oh, well, they're definitely the killer then. You know, I don't know if that's great movie logic, but I'm like, there's a reason Patrick Dempsey is in this. And it's not just to be like the friendly cop in this town, right? He's got his Grey's Anatomy money. He could just be doing whatever he wants.
I don't know. He might be hurting for cash. Like,
maybe he's hurting for cash. Who knows? Hasn't made a movie since Enchanted. It's a Nicolas Cage debt. He's like selling a haunted house in New Orleans and it's not moving. And he is, for the sheriff, he is way, way too knowledgeable about this friend group's drama. He knows these kids, and it's like he knows everyone. He just knows these kids really well, and he's talking to them, and he's like, "Oh yeah, wow!" Like the boyfriend and the ex show up at the same time, and he's like, "Well, I hate to interrupt this reunion." Like he knows it's like juicy teen gossip, and he's there for it. And then at one point, he separates them, and he says, "If I see either of you at the parade tomorrow, I'm locking you up." And it's like, you don't have the authority to do that. You're a cop. You can't just bar someone from parades because they're roughhousing. What is this relationship you have with these guys? Literally every time there's a conflict with the teens, Dempsey shows up and is like, "Wow, you handled this really well," or trying to like have a heart to heart with somebody, or you can tell me anything. And I don't know. Especially in hindsight, it's like, oh, this guy's insane the whole time. He's creeping on everybody. But
I think it's aspirational.
Yeah, but the reveal makes no sense. He's like comes out of left field.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing.
His motivation's wild. Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm trying to think of what I thought that reveal was just really, really good. And then the rest of the little things that came up, I just couldn't get through. I'm going to talk to you guys right now as a person of color, black man. If my last name is Diving, you're not calling me fucking Scuba. No black person is being called Scuba. First of all, it's something we don't do. There's no reason. We as a culture and as a race have been like, why would we have all this shit on the land? Why would we go into it's like when like black people don't go camping because we started building houses centuries ago. Why would we go? That's going backwards. All right. If it's a white person with the last name Diving, they're Scuba diving. Got it. They should have called, what was his real name again? Claude? That's a badass name.
Yeah.
It was Claude
The
Diving.
guy's like, oh, I
Claude
can see why you
Diving.
went Scuba. What?
Scuba.
Like, what?
Yeah. That's, you know who said
Yeah,
that?
Scuba's
A
better.
white man.
Yes.
White people love
I thought-
Scuba, though. Scuba Steve
I
was
love
like a whole
Scuba.
thing for a long time, you know?
Scuba Steve.
Scuba's a great nickname.
Famously white action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Was not black. There are no Scubas. There's no, like, it's just not even. The closest of what is that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.? Radio? That's the closest that we might take.
I thought your argument was going to be that Cuba is the closest you're going to get to a name.
Maybe.
So
But
one
like
letter
radio, that's like the one
Radio.
nickname. And he was mentally disabled, by the way. So then he had to just accept that. No, like not mentally disabled black person. Like, yeah, call me Scuba. Everybody else
I love that radio's the line, because radio is like kind of roughing it, you know, like you don't have pictures. Probably got to crank it. You got to find batteries. like that's as far back as we're going for this.
That's it.
We're not going any further. No.
Radio, and it's because he always carries around a radio. Got it.
Yeah.
They're like Scuba, he doesn't Scuba. It just made me. And you know what else they did? They made him live. They made him live. I think it was a conscious choice because black people always die first. The whatever, the theory or whatever. But they were like, no, this guy's gonna live. This guy with the dumbest name possible. Dating the most Russian girl ever, living in Massachusetts.
Her dad is insane, and there's just no explanation for this at all. Just the most Russian mobster you've ever seen gets out of his car, forces her in.
We're going to Florida. She has no accent. There's no backstory about that. He's clearly some kind of mobster.
Where are they going?
Florida, where all mobsters go when there's murders in Massachusetts.
He's literally just like, we're just getting out of town. I don't know who's doing this. I don't know why they're killing people, but I cannot be a part of this.
Yeah.
They're coming for me.
I want
to know his backstory, where he saw some teenagers getting killed and was like, yeah, I'm next.
Because I think he's killed people. I think that was implied that he's murdered. And he was like, well, I can't be here if they're going to be searching for killers.
He's going to be a suspect.
Nothing happens to the guy. There's that one guy who sells guns.
Yeah.
To the high school students. Very casually, by the way. Very, very, pulls up to the thing, shoots a gun. There. And it's just like, oh, Dan, come on. Like, what are we talking about?
That's such a weird character, because in another movie, I think he'd be a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, like he's dealing guns. He's got the party house. It's like drugs. Like this is a bad influence, like an older guy talking to high school kids. But in this movie, he's like kind of a chill dude. You know, he's like watching out for them. He just loans them a gun because he's a nice guy. He takes them into VIP, doesn't ask them for money. He just seems like a chill dude, which was very surprising and kind of nice.
He's Wooderson. He's Wooderson from Dazed and Confused with a gun.
Oh my God, he is.
It's fucking, it's weird. And then at the end of the movie, they're like, they survive. And then he's just there, like with his arms around them, like, hey guys, we got through another one. Like, where the fuck are you? Why are you not somewhere being an adult? These are 17-year-old children.
How are you never suspected in this crime?
I thought it was him. Like, I was like, well, it's got to be this guy who's fucking unhinged, and they all think he's a loser because he sells guns in the parking lot. That time old, age old. Like, doesn't make any sense.
I just thought he was fodder for the killer, because I'm like, there's no way this guy. I thought he was a red herring, because it's like this is a weak man. This is a guy who refuses to move on with his life. He's glued to high school. They said didn't they say he's dating a cheerleader? And this dude's like 30. So I mean, this is a weirdo.
Pretty cool. Still pulling cheerleaders. Game respects game.
Yeah, he had a lot of game. He told me, he was like, hey, be careful out there, you guys. He got really heroic out of nowhere. He was an asshole, and he was like, well, I'm going to give you a gun, and I'm going to give you some life advice with it. It's like, what you sell crack?
He gave her,
freshman students.
He gave her the ring. He's like, this was my dad's in Iraq. And we're like, wait a minute, what's your backstory, dude?
Also, his dad's right there.
Yeah.
So he gives her the ring, and the dad claps him on the back and is like, hell yeah, dude. And like they both have a moment where they're like, that was the right thing to do. was like, this is insane. I'm like, this ring has to be a gun. There's no way it's just a ring.
That's what I was thinking. Like, there had to be something, like the ring is going to like block the accelerator or something. Like the ring is going to do something really cool.
Oh, like stop the bullet. Like, I forget what movie that is, where the something they give you, like a quarter or whatever, stops the bullet. It's in something. I forgot.
It happened to Teddy Roosevelt in real life too, right? Like he had like I think it was a Bible in his pocket, and somebody tried to assassinate him. Double check me on what president that is, but happened to a president.
Is that a Bible in your pocket, or are you happy to see me, Mr. President?
Hey, porque no la dos.
That's a Bible in my pocket, actually. I'm not happy to see you. I'm trying to think, and then there's just so much to unpack. Like in this movie, there was just so much going on. The murders, the cooking the woman, I thought was just chef's kiss. I thought that was like how he served her. I thought that was the best kill. But all the kills were like kind of like sloppy chase arounds. Like the overweight woman. First of all, the whole thing of people like I want my pancake press. Get the fuck out of my way. I want my like the whole like rushing to. I've never seen that before. That was like a race riot or some kind of political. Like they treated it like that, and it was very much. It wasn't that serious. Like they were all going to get into the store.
Yeah,
people have died doing that. That's like a real thing that's happened before.
Really? I've never heard of people over a pancake maker.
Well, that's the thing is it's usually
Black Friday sales.
It's usually over, like an Xbox or something. And there's like, it's like the one time you can get a deal on an Xbox or like a MacBook or something. But like nobody's doing it over a pancake press or like a one of them is like a pizza maker or something. It's like,
like a microwave.
But
and
that's
stuff.
heightening. Yeah. That's heightening the game. Let's make it the dumbest thing we can and have them kill each other for it. I mean, they're literally, one woman is like pulls it out of a dying man's hand and then just walks away. And it's like, okay, this is really holding up the mirror to society here. Yeah. I get it. I get what you're saying, Eli.
The guy who cut his neck open and then still went to go get the microwave with like blood. I was like, that's not going to really happen. But I loved when the overweight woman, because she sucked right away, and I knew immediately, well, somebody's got to kill her. Somebody's got to take her out because she's like, move, cocksucker.
Trash can?
Yeah.
The dumpster kill is amazing because it comes out of nowhere, and it's not how you'd expect it to be.
Yeah.
The idea of the lid crushing her because the car slammed into it, it cuts her in half. Insane. It's so crazy.
Amazing.
And it leads to an incredibly corny line from the teens hanging out. They're like, "Oh, they killed this person." I think it's like they cut this woman in half. Oh, we could be next. And then one of the guy goes, "Yeah, we're all going to end up 50% off." And then nobody laughs. No one sells it at all. They all just kind of look at each other like seriously, like that was the end of the scene, but the camera just kept rolling for some reason. And I was like, this has to be intentional. There's no way. This has to be choices they're making and how corny this is.
Like they almost wanted to flash a sign that said, "Get it?" Question mark. Right up in front of you.
We get it. Yeah.
That kill though, that was like, I guess that scene really kind of epitomizes where the rest of the movie is going to go. Cause that kill was fucking wild. Even from the point where like he comes into the restaurant when he gets her wet and then throws her up against the freezer door. That was some of the craziest shit I've ever seen in a slasher movie. That
was brilliant. I thought all of the murders were pretty, if not just like basic, but also just like very cool and how big. Did you never think like, oh yeah, I'm going to stick you? Like, and that can happen. That is horrific. That is like an actual fear that could like somebody working in a restaurant or with a freezer can do that.
Ugh.
It's insane. And then the head twist of the Hanover, the other high school, I thought that I did not see that coming. I thought it would be something much more diabolical or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you can just twist it. Also, the strength of McDreamy to do such a maneuver. I can kind of like snap my neck, but I can't push it all the way back. That's insane.
Yeah, if you just snapped your neck on this pod, that would be one of the craziest things. We get taken down so fast.
I would love to see it at my funeral. Like, play this.
Watch
this movie, play this, and then wish me. Like,
it'd be hard to see it at your own funeral, but we can make that happen.
Yeah, man, dude.
The violence is like in such a good tier for me too, because I don't like super realistic, like gruesome gore necessarily, but this is so over the top that I feel like it's just fun.
Yes.
It's so unrealistic and weird and and fake looking to some degree that it's just fun. And I'm not too worried about any of these people getting involved or questioning humanity or anything during this thing, which I like that in a slasher.
I think Eli Roth does that really, really well, because there's a line in like a lot of his movies where you can go. I didn't see Borderlands, but you can go to this line and it's like, this is really, really gory, really, really gory. This is gross. And then you can just kind of cross that line where it's like, oh, well, this is just incredible that it's gone. Like every Hostel movie, like progressively is like that. Just like how fucking crazy can we go, where it's like you don't feel bad for them. It's just like, well, what's going to happen next? Like, how are you going to rip this person's toes off one by one? Like, fuck, like, do it. Go for it. I thought this movie like encompassed that. Yeah, just past that, where it's like, okay, I got to see how you kill these people.
Yeah,
like the trampoline.
Oh man,
I thought that was so brilliant. I thought that was so.
It was really good.
Oh,
and
the dread.
Saw, I rewatched Saw recently, like all of them. And I think I love like the senseless, like, it's for a reason with Thanksgiving, but like, just, I'm going to twist your head and then I'm going to put like spikes on a trampoline. So when you bounce, you're going to get cut up. And all the Saw shit is like, I want to play a game. You've been, you steal cookies from the supermarket. Let's see how many cookies you can eat to save your life. Like that type of shit like just pisses me off. I just want a straight kill. I don't want any bullshit, pop them, take them out. I don't want there was no monologues. I love that.
I was kind of
amazing.
Dude, I was wondering if there was going to be, when the parade happened, I was trying to predict what kind of crazy shit was going to happen at the parade, because I was like, something nuts is going to happen. I think that's the one instance where any of the crazy stuff that happened in that scene wasn't the killer's fault, really. Like the killer just kind of came out and like shot a guy, right? Like there wasn't anything.
I think he cut somebody's head off with the axe.
Yeah,
that's
right. The turkey's head off.
Yeah. Okay. And then
just great.
Cool. Well, because then there's the thing where like the ship, the like masthead of the ship goes just through that grandpa's head. And I mean, it's like, it's as though his head is made of tissue paper. Like it's that caliber of slasher where it's like everybody is so comedically vulnerable. But like, I was I was shocked that it wasn't wilder from his perspective, because it did seem like, he was doing some pretty efficient stuff that was still pretty wild. I thought there was going to be like, a string of lights or like a string, those like flags on strings. I thought it was going to be like one of those, but he's got like a fucking chainsaw on the end of it or something, and he's just swinging it around.
That would be cool. I thought, they were very easy kills, but they were effective. There was that line that I'm talking about. I think there's one point, I rewatched it before we did this today, and there was one thing that I thought was really, really stupid, and I'm blanking on it right now. Oh, how they find out is insane. It's just Instagram posts. Yeah. That's just lazy writing. That's just Eli Roth, like, oh, he texts them the murders. He DMs them the murder that just recently happened. Like, you're next, double heart or whatever. I was like, you can't leave anything in their locker or like, spray paint or something else besides like, it just seemed really lazy. Yeah. It was just like, I'm going to DM you this guy's head.
The place settings are fun, though.
They all got it. And they're like, uh-oh. The setup of the thing was really, really good. I really like that. But the delivery was like, you gotta put some effort in. It made me think of Scream, like the first Scream. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of like the whole high school vibe of it, but the whole like trying to figure it out. And I remember during the first Scream, I really did not know who the killer was. Yeah. I remember that kind of like joy of like not figuring it out.
Oh, it's awesome. And there's so many fake outs there too of like the boots. Like at one point we see somebody's boots in a bathroom stall, and it's the same type of boots the killer was wearing in a different shot. And it's rad.
I think it's really, really, it's dumb. It's a dumb movie, but it's a well done, dumb movie. It's a very Eli Roth movie. Like Hostel is not going to win. It didn't like Oscars or shit, or like, it's not going to Independent Spirit Award or whatever, but it's like done well. It's just like, it just hits all the right. I think he's just really good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like this really delivered for people who love like slasher movies like this and would love a holiday themed slasher movie. Like, you know, if you're, it's not my favorite horror genre, but if you are, I know a lot of people who are like huge into slasher movies. And so this seems to be like a massive hit right to exactly the people that want it.
Yeah. I think the only part was like every character that wasn't McDreamy or Gina Gershon she was in it too. She's like a legitimate actress, but every other person I think was like a TikTok star and like horrible acting. Horrible from the guy with too much gel in his hair, the baseball star who just goes missing. He broke his hand.
Okay. We were talking before the pod about how baseball players aren't real athletes.
Yeah.
Do you buy that this guy who is 4'8" is actually a baseball player? This is, I mean, we stand our short kings on Nerdy for 30, but even though I guess we're just tall boys, we're tall boys who respect short kings, but this guy is too short. I think it's a baller move for a short guy to pull a taller woman, but it doesn't work for me when that guy is a star athlete, the greatest pitcher in high school history. He's going to college. He's the golden arm, and he has to get on his tippy toes to make eye contact with his girlfriend. Yeah. It's just a little.
If they made him like a what do they call him? Like a jockey.
Yeah.
Like a horse racer. That would so much more believable. It's like, well, I can't jock with my hand broken. My life is over. But it's like,
yeah. Maybe he's like, a catcher or something. I mean, I don't know.
Let him like a short shot put or something. I don't know. Like
wasn't Randy Johnson like 6'7" or 6'5"? Like pitchers are tall people.
Yeah.
Unless he threw underhanded like very hard. Like he looked like a little kid. And when she got the new boyfriend and he's like standing up to her, I was like, hey man, I used to be her boy. It's like that guy was like 2 feet taller than her. I was like, you should back the fuck up, bud. Little guy.
The new guy's like rubbing his head and like scruffing his hair. I mean, it's like it's the contrast between the two of them is so great that it just undercuts that guy so much. One of my favorite jokes in this, though, I really hated the tall guy, like the character, but I think the actor was awesome. And he just made so many good choices to be like a shitty guy. And there's one where like the ex puts his jacket around her, and then the boyfriend, as he's walking up, he gives her a hug, but while he's doing it, he knocks the jacket off her shoulders and then comes in, and it was so good. I'm like, that I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's an incredible bit.
He was petty. He played petty so well. And he actually was like the perfect, like when he was like, yeah, I bought Adderall so I could go to a nice school, and then you'll park my car one day. I'm like, that's legit. This guy's got one hand. He's 4'7". He's not, his prospects in life are not that fucking high. Like, this guy's killing it. This guy should be the obvious choice. And he was persistent, too. I like that. He was like, oh, your boyfriend broke his hand and disappeared? Well, I'm around. I got tickets to the Patriots game, 50-yard line.
On the 50-yard line.
How?
So this guy's loaded. This guy's family is loaded. There is, also lends me to not like him, to be honest.
Yeah, I like they called him an NPC. They called him a non-playable character.
Yeah,
I thought that was one of the funniest lines in the whole movie.
Brutal. My God,
that fucking guy.
Oh man, damn.
I'm trying to think of anything else that really stood out to me.
Yeah, any last thoughts?
The bracelet. They make a very big thing with her loading the gun. And she's like, I had to actually load and shoot a gun for a commercial because my dad wanted to be authentic. And it's like, no, what is that? What are you, oh gosh, what are you, Alec Baldwin on the set of this commercial? Like, what, you need a real gun going off every take? Like, this is insanity that this would happen.
Her dad's should not a madman. Suits guy.
Her dad's a madman.
Oh yeah, the guy with the mustache. That mustache, the bald man with the mustache, I thought stole the whole movie.
I think he's in Suits.
Yeah,
he's like a real actor.
I've never seen Suits. Is it good?
It's very
the TikToks
watchable.
I've seen are
good. Suits is one of those shows that like it's been on forever, but I've just never I don't know anyone that watches. It's like a Burn Notice.
Sure,
I have no idea what Burn Notice is about. I thought it was like a fireman show. I don't think it is. I think it's like something different. But it's one of those.
How many notices are they going to burn?
Dude,
like
how many suits are enough?
USA
burn notices.
All these are USA shows. They make seltzer, dude. Every single USA show is like seltzer. It's like, you know what? There's not that much flavor to this, so I could drink fucking 50 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psych. I had a friend that
That's
watches
good.
a shit ton of Psych.
was
Monk.
great. Monk, like
Yes.
yeah, all these things. It's like I would take a box set. It'd be fine. You know?
Yeah.
It's a perfectly nice way to recover from strep throat or, breaking your ankle.
If you have COVID, you need USA.
Yes.
If you broke your ankle, if you are going through a breakup, if you have a hangover, USA is great. Don't do like an American horror. Don't do a Ryan Murphy. Don't get too deep.
Fuck no.
Get something you can quit easily, which is the USA.
Yeah.
It should be the slogan. Something you can stop watching anytime you want. USA.
The motto for USA. Yeah, it's playing in every waiting room across the country is just USA.
Now that you say that, that guy does make sense that he would be on. That guy is a total. All the actors besides Mick Dreamy
awesome.
is a USA actor. They're all. They should be all. I think like it should be an anthology. Monk, Psych, Burn Notice, Suits should just be anthologies of the same. It should be written by the same guy. Like, guess what I got now? Same people, but now they're in suits. Now they're lawyers. Now they're
Tim
psychics.
Dillon.
God, I'm so
Dillon who just gets his head cut off, which is amazing. And I also love that the guy feeds the cat after, which I'm like, so he's not a psychopath.
No.
This is revenge.
He's got a heart.
It's a good detail. Yeah.
He's got a heart. I like that. He based the woman. He doesn't just burn her.
No.
He like preps her.
Right. This is
preps her up.
revenge. He has a focus. Yeah, the basting was brutal. But then the bracelet thing, I want to talk about the gun and the bracelet thing, because they make an obvious point of telling, she talks for like 30-second monologue about loading the gun. And then there's a moment when, she's sitting there with her baseball boyfriend and she's like, oh, I hate my stepmom. And he's like, she'll never replace your real mom. And they both look down at her wrist with the necklace, and the necklace and like the bracelet is a locket with her mom's photo in it, which doesn't seem like a bracelet item. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of locket bracelet situations. But then at the end of the movie, she needs something to load the blunderbuss with, and she uses the bracelet and like kisses it, and she doesn't even kill Dempsey with it. She shoots a turkey that explodes, creates a fireball, and some cops like, no one could have survived that. Even though honestly, it looked like pretty survivable. His body, he just kind of got knocked away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him get knocked down in the explosion. He's alive. He's out there for sure. But I was like, what are they trying to tell us? That her mom is the spirit of Thanksgiving and is protecting her and watching out for her from a giant turkey? This just feels like it's wasted symbolism here. Why does she have to use the locket?
There's an undercurrent. There's like an undercurrent, like a something. I immediately thought, I couldn't get away from it, the audacity and narcissism to give someone a locket with your face in it, to give yourself a picture of yourself to wear around someone else's wrist. Like, here's a picture of me. Put it around you at all. It's not even like you open it up and it's like the daughter and the mom. It's just her. I was like, that's just, I couldn't get past that. The whole shooting, it was like insane. But I was like, what kind of woman, like maybe you don't want her in your life anymore, that would give you a picture. Like if I said, hey, happy birthday, Tim, here's a picture of me.
I got to tell you, dude, I am happy that I'm hearing this now, because it means that I got about 25 days left to change your Christmas gift for this year.
I feel like it's a great gift. If you found out you were dying, I'd immediately commission, if I was in that situation, I'd immediately commission like giant, like 6 foot tall oil paintings of myself, and then just give them to as many people as I could and say, hey, I just want you to hold on to this.
You can't
as like
take
a reminder of me.
You can't get a throwaway camera and say, yeah, get that printed at CVS.
Just so it can sit in someone's attic and they can't throw it away, and just like haunt them with this gigantic obligation that they have to feel guilty about throwing out in 10 years or whatever.
If you put a painting out on the street of like a specific person, you feel everybody knows you're a horrible person. Everybody knows you're shitty.
What happened to him? Damn.
No, that's all I could think about with that locket, though. I was like, that's just a narcissistic woman.
Yeah.
You're probably better off with your turkey mother.
That's the real thing. She was trying to get rid of that. That's the first thing she possibly could load into that blunderbuss. She couldn't wait to shoot that thing at a giant turkey.
And she had Scuba with her to help her out.
Scuba kicked ass though. Scuba's a big guy, especially when you have a star athlete and then Scuba's just like yoked and just dominating this Pilgrim guy. He was kicking his ass.
That was awesome.
It was great.
The one thing, it was like a bummer on one hand when he got like chopped in the arm, because it's like, oh, damn. Like I was really hoping maybe he just takes this guy down now and unmasks him Scooby-Doo style. But on the other hand, it was kind of nice that he got clipped in the arm, and it's the type of injury that you feel like in most slasher movies people would just shrug off, but in this one it's enough to drop him to the floor, and it's like, yeah, that's real. That man, like, he's got a lot of physical therapy in his future. Like a muscle got severed.
Mm-hmm. I like that guy. I didn't like the guy who took the video of it and he got his head bashed in. I couldn't wait for that guy to die. I couldn't wait for that actor to no longer be in the film. I mean, he was great at being hateable because I fucking hated him. And did you remember they canceled the football game? And then he ran to the field. He's like, I'm still playing. And I was like, they could have cut that very easily. That's just, it wasn't even funny. It was like, this doesn't make any, they had a shot of all of them being like, it doesn't make any sense. Basically talking to the audience.
You can't play football by yourself.
Watch me. Watch me do it.
Thinking about. It's just dumb.
You just feel the dreams it into existence.
Yeah. Wait, Kevin, what was the other movie I had a chance to? I had two to pick from, right?
Yeah, it was. What was the other one?
Thanksgiving and
toss up. It was. I think it was Hellboy, right? Didn't I hit you up about Hellboy? Because I felt like Hellboy was one. Yeah, I felt like that was one that there was a chance that you had like a strong opinion about one way or another.
No, I thought it was fine when I saw the original one.
Yeah.
But it was like, this movie had way more of a. It's just a really good bad movie. And I looked it up, and it's like got incredible reviews. It's got like 84% on. Like people loved it.
Yeah,
like made money.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be another one. Yeah,
there has to be. He's still out there.
Good job, Eli.
Yeah, dude.
What'd you say?
Oh, I said there has to be. That he's still out there. Dempsey's still alive, no question.
At the end, he comes out of the just blatantly just hiding in the closet, blatantly on fire. By the way, like who dreams of that?
Yeah, what is
not
that?
feasible. I really thought he would come back. I thought he would come back charred, and then that would end, and it would like set up a future one. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I would really love to see a future one. I thought it's a good bad movie. It's a good campy bad movie. I enjoyed it,
dude.
Both times.
Yeah, 100%.
Same.
And thank you so much.
I enjoyed the third and fourth.
I know, dude. As many of these as they want to make. This is one of those franchises where it's like, I'll take it. You know, set it on whatever holiday.
It could be a whole thing.
Maybe he comes back for Columbus Day next time. If you like,
you should go through all the holiday, Christmas, St. Patrick's Day. He's got a whole bunch of killing. Anything can happen in Massachusetts.
Anything.
Fucking Plymouth, Massachusetts.
It's untapped territory. Listener, what do you think? Send us an email. We'll read it on the show. It'll be great. Julian, thank you so much for being here, dude. It was great to have you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Man, this is wonderful. Where you got anything to plug? Where can people find you? I know the art exhibit just wrapped up. I guess this is.
I just had an art exhibit. Yeah, in the Lower East Side. I'm going to have some more art exhibits at the end of November and December in New York. I hate myself for this, but if you go to JE_Williams _art on Instagram or JULiamsart.com, it'll be online. And I'll tell people where the exhibits are. You can come see me. You can come make fun of me. We can talk about this movie or anything better. Schindler's List. I've watched recently.
Those are the options. Thanksgiving, the slasher movie from Eli Roth, or Schindler's List at a nice gallery opening.
I tell you what, if you ever want to get serious, I got some hot takes on Schindler's List.
Oh my god, dude! If we go to this gallery opening,
30 pod people are begging for.
All the art is in black and white, and then there's just like one red dress somewhere.
We'll see. I'll do it. I'll do it if I can.
God damn, dude. We'll link to the Instagram.
We've been putting off the listeners for too long.
Yeah, they've been
demanding for Schindler's List, and we just keep pushing it off. We're saving it for something. I don't know.
If we capped off like a Liam Neeson action movie month with Schindler's List, so did like Taken and like The Gray and like
Yes. I think that'd be great. Like, do all the Fast and Furious, and then do like Shawshank Redemption at the end.
God damn.
Curveball.
That could work.
Incredible. Thanks again, dude. Everybody, we'll link to Julian's Instagram and stuff from our Instagram. Go on there, follow everybody. It's great. He's an incredible artist. It's
Thank you.
What do you got to lose? You get more art in your life. We'll be back here again next week with Silent Night, the silent John Woo action movie from 2023. It's a weird one. We'll see you then. And until then, stay nerdy, everybody. Bye.
Stay nerdy. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Julian.
Thanks.